To practice using your markers, go ahead and take a blank page out of your blank workbook and set it on a flat surface in front of you. Before you start using your markers, I would recommend getting a pencil and drawing a picture very lightly first so that you can erase any mistakes. When you're finished making your drawing in pencil, you can get your marker box out. When you're working, get one marker out at a time. When you start on your work, I would recommend outlining or going around the outside of the parts of your picture with a marker before coloring things in. Here, I'm starting on my background, which is the space that's going to go behind my tree. Once you have an area outlined with the color that you plan to use, you can start filling in that area by using the side of your marker or the wider part, that kind of chunky part. For smaller areas, you can use the top of your marker by turning it straight up and down to get into those smaller areas. As you start to finish up your background, you can start coloring in some of the spaces in your foreground by going ahead and outlining on the inside around where the background color is. Again, for smaller areas, you can use the top of your marker, and for smaller areas, you can use the tip of your marker to really squeeze in those small spaces. Remember that every time you switch colors, put the lid on so that you can hear a click and then put it back in the box. As you finish up the background and coloring in the large spaces, you can start to add details and overlap your colors. If you have a light color on the page, you can add a darker color on top. If you have a darker color already on the page, if you take a lighter color like yellow and go over a darker color like blue, it won't show up very well. So make sure you're only coloring dark on top of light. Also, if it gets challenging to reach parts of your paper, you can always turn your paper a different way to make it easier for your hand to reach those spaces. As you finish up your work, remember to put the lids back on all of your markers so that you hear a click, put them back in the box, and make sure that they are back in your art kit so they are ready to go for your next work of art.